Ladies and gentlemen, joining me in the studio right now, my one-time pickleball partner.
Tore my Achilles on that one. Let's not talk about that.
Tariq Lundy's in the studio, and dude, I didn't know you were making a movie.
I didn't know I was making a movie either. But when you get a random call from a director in LA saying we're bringing a movie from Georgia to the state of Iowa and we need your help, you kind of perk up and listen. So it worked out well.
So now you're Tariq, the associate producer.
Yeah, you Google me. I got an IDMB page, whatever it's called.
Really?
Obviously, I don't do this often. But I didn't put it on myself. They, SAG put it on there themselves, and someone told me about 4 weeks ago that I was the associate producer. It actually just says producer on there. So
that's awesome.
Now I'm in the market to look for more movies, apparently. I'm coming up.
Well, when the reward for good or work well done is more work. So.
Yes.
All right, let's bring everybody up to speed here. Tariq used to work in the building here, has since moved on. You work over at Horizon Events Center.
Yes, sir.
You wear a ton of hats. You've got your hands in a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. I'm a sales manager, booking manager, and operations manager, and assistant GM over there. And we're going through a pretty large renovation where we added about 6 full-court basketball, volleyball hoops.
Yep.
Now our sports side is rocking. Everyone knows the concert side, which used to be Seven Flags, now Horizon Event Center. And then we have what used to be the weight room, indoor pool, daycare. We're turning that into a 600-person venue similar to Woolies.
Oh, cool.
And then we're adding some other additions that will get started here in about a month or so that I can't speak on yet, but by next year it should be done. It'll be a great addition. We're partnering with another company in town for that. And then we just had the Greenbelt Music Festival, so we got a lot going on.
I heard a lot of good stuff about Greenbelt. So.
It was great. It was really a proof of concept. We went small this year. We knew we'd lose a little bit of money, but we just wanted to prove to the city of Clive that we can hold a festival without gunshots, noise complaints, parking issues. And City Council, I went in front of City Council about 3 weeks ago and got the A+ to try to do this again next year. So we'll be announcing that to the rest of the world, not just KG Joe's hearing it first, but we'll be coming back next year.
All right. So the other day I'm looking at Facebook. You put up this very, very, I don't want to say long in a bad way.
Very long post.
But I had no idea you were part of this. One of our friends mutual friends in the building had no idea, or drunkenly had no idea.
Yep, for sure.
But there was a movie filmed, about 4 years ago, I think you said?
4 years ago, September 2019. Actually filmed October 2019 through November 2019.
Right here in Des Moines. Well, partially, right?
Partially Des Moines, Urbandale, Clive area. And
you were part of it, and it's coming out this week, right?
Comes out tomorrow. If this is airing today, it's coming out tomorrow. June 30th in select theaters from Brooklyn, New York to Riverside, California. We're actually having a private screening today at Flicks Theater, and they're having a private screening in Beverly Hills today as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm pretty excited about it.
All right. It's called The Southern Haunting.
It's called A Southern Haunting. It first started as 40.
Okay.
And when the company that bought it saw the name, they thought it'd be a little hard to search for. You don't know whether to put 40 the word, 40 the number, so they changed it to A Southern Haunting, which also helps describe the movie a little more as well.
All right, let's dive into it. Southern Haunting is a movie about...
Okay, it's about a family who was just freed from slavery after receiving about 40 acres, which the name 40 acres in Mule came from. Former slave family battles man and myth to uncover the truth about land that they just inherited. Throughout the movie, they're also wondering why their mom, who was a slave with them, who had escaped and helped other slaves escape but promised to come back, why she never returned. And that truth starts to unveil itself throughout the movie, which helps with the twist as well.
The trailer looks great.
Trailer is awesome for a low-budget film, and I will say this was a low-budget film. That's why they came to Iowa to save money.
Okay, here, it was one of those things where you said low budget in it, and I watched it, and that's not what I thought.
A Luminary production, which is actually out of West Des Moines, Jacob Moyer. Great film equipment, great production equipment, and he did a great job with the quality of this film. I think that's why Stars, who picked up the movie, purchased it, because it doesn't look like a low-budget film, but they're able to pick it up as a low-budget film.
There was no part of me that looked at it and thought, oh, they have a handheld camcorder or something,
There was no cell phone in the making of this. He has some great equipment, and that's what took so long, too, is because, we filmed it, and we finished filming November of 2019.
Yeah.
We were planning on dropping the movie a year later. Obviously March 2020 happened, this thing called COVID, which we all remember. Iowa shut down till about June that year.
Yeah.
California and the rest of the world shut down for about 2 years. And so all the directors, producers, actors, everyone went back to LA. They started to get in studio, and then studio closed for a year and a half. So they weren't able to work on the movie production-wise, music-wise, special effects-wise until about 2021. And then they finally got to work on it, had some new ideas, worked with some consulting firms, and got their finished project about 6 months ago, and then we started shipping the movie, and we couldn't decide if we're going to go the independent film circuit. We went to Sundance, Tribeca, and it looked like we are going to go that route. And then we got this last minute offer from Stars.
That's awesome.
Which helped. We had the promise was to put it in 30 select theaters across the country for 30 to 60 days, kind of like any movie nowadays goes in Top Gun, and 60 days later you can watch it on Paramount. That's how this will be. Where you can get it on video on demand or in theaters for 60 days, and then it'll be on Stars and a few other Amazon Prime and things like that.
Tariq Lundy, the associate producer of A Southern Haunting, in studio with me. It's coming out. Say that one more time where people are going to be able to, because it's not in Iowa right now.
Not in Iowa theaters-wise, so June 30th tomorrow in select theaters, but video on demand. So if you have Comcast, DirecTV, Cox, Dish Network, Apple iTunes will be on, Amazon Prime, Vudu, Google Play, Redbox on demand, Microsoft Movies and TVs, plus more. So you'll be able to purchase it for the next 60 days starting tomorrow, and then after that you should be able to just turn on your Stars app or Stars channel and search for it.
That's very cool, man.
And one of the big things for us is if you watch it, enjoy the movie, rate it. On Netflix and other film apps, you see the trending movies, the ones that kind of put forefront. That'll help us trend if you give it, the correct amount of stars or give it a review. Then they'll keep popping it up for people. And we're very proud that it was filmed here in Iowa.
I will put up on the website the IMDb link and the Rotten Tomatoes link for everybody. And I'll put the trailer up as well because it's very cool. All right, let's talk about it being filmed in Iowa because you got Living History Farms and Horizon Event Center in this, right?
Yes. They're looking for, obviously post-slavery. And obviously in Iowa, originally it was going to be in Georgia, so they knew the weather they can count on. Iowa in October, we had some snow days. they weren't expecting that. We had some really cold days, which our LA folk weren't especially accustomed to. But Living History Farms has that back area with the barn and well that looks very old age, Living History. So we filmed a lot of outside scenes there, and there's an old cabin there where you'll see a fire in the movie that was filmed there. But then in the back of Horizon, which is now our sports hall, we built two levels actually. One was the living room, the indoor. So anytime you see the family inside of a house, that is in the back of Horizon Event Center. And then when they're in the attic, we built a replica house right next to it. That was the actual attic of the place. And so, and then when you see her in a well, we built a well with a camera in it inside Horizon as well. So it took a lot of stagehands, a lot of set decorators, a lot of friends, local rappers, local artists in town who I had to pull in, and PAs to help with extra hands because, as I mentioned, this is low budget. So thank you to them. But it turned out great, and you would never know it was filmed. And this is before it was a sports hall. It was just a tennis court, ugly around it. But great camera job and great building of the set.
Did you guys have to keep it secret, or did people know this was going on?
A little bit of both. We kept it secret to the sense of let's see how this movie turns out before we tell everyone, because we did know it was low budget.
Ooh, we're not telling
everyone. Let's not be proud of it until we're proud of it. But we did put the word out a little bit because we wanted some nonprofit. We had some nonprofits come in and watch some of the filming, meet some of the actors. We had some kids come in. We had some sponsor partners come in. Grandview was awesome in helping Grandview University, their Viking Theater. They handled about 90% of our wardrobe because unlike LA, you can't go to every other corner and find a wardrobe person or a special effects makeup person or someone who wants to be an extra in a movie. So I was able to reach out to some of my network, and we got connected with Grandview, and they were awesome. So we brought in some of their theater kids to see how things go. So we had a lot of great partners in town, but for the most part, we didn't really push it out. A press release will actually go out tomorrow morning. And you'll see some news outlets covering it tomorrow or next week as well.
That's so cool, man. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Feel like it, didn't even happen because it was 4 years ago. One of those things you kind of were proud about in the moment, and then so much has happened since COVID that you forgot about. So it's great that it's now popping back up.
I don't mean this in a bad way, but like when you filmed it and then COVID happened, did you still think it was going to happen?
Yes, we all still thought it was still happening. We kept in touch with the director. We went to LA a few times to check on it, and we actually watched different parts of it throughout the last 4 years. So I've actually seen the movie probably about 7 or 8 times, and they went back and changed things. So I haven't seen the final special effects action part, so I'm looking forward to that tonight. But yes, we always thought it was going to happen. Then about 8 months ago, we're like, if it doesn't happen, so what at this point, because we're almost over it. But we always had that faith that it was going to happen and was hoping that someone would pick it up so the rest of the world can see it and maybe make a little money on it.
Well, I know there's a lot of projects out there over the last 4 years, like you said. Same situation that were really great projects that it just fell apart. nobody went back to it, you know?
You look a lot of your favorite sitcoms and your favorite shows on TV that, like, season 4 didn't happen for 3 years, or season 4 didn't happen at all, or all of a sudden there's a writer's strike.
Why
and
are
now
the kids so old now?
Yes. Or why did they just pivot and now they're in a whole different town because writers changed, and I think so much changed in LA and Hollywood that this 4 years, which felt like 8 years, it feels like COVID was so long ago now. So much has changed, and so a lot of things have been forgotten about. A lot of things have been left on the cutting room floor. But this one actually somehow made it through the fire.
Tariq Lundy, the associate producer of A Southern Haunting, in studio with me. All right, as we wrap up, like I said, I'm going to have the links to the IMDb, the trailer, and everything on the page here. Give it to us one more time, where people can see it and how they can support it, because I think that is the cool thing about Iowa. They're going to hear about this and want to support it.
Yep, A Southern Haunting in theaters across the country. Unfortunately, not in Iowa, but you can go on Apple iTunes, Amazon Prime, Vudu, Fandango, Google Play, Redbox On Demand, Microsoft Movies and TVs, along with some of your Mediacom, DirecTV, Cox, Charter, Spectrum, some of your cable outlets as well. So plenty of places to find it for the next 60 days. And then after that, go to Stars and Amazon Prime as well, and you'll be able to just watch the movie for free.
One other thing real quick I thought about, because I remembered we were talking with Kim, one of our people from one of our other stations. Who's in it again?
Okay, so we got,
we probably should have talked about that earlier.
Plug that right away. But our main character was the little sister on Amani. She was the little sister on Everyone Hates Chris. Another character you might recognize if you ever watched Equalizer on TV with Queen Latifah, her daughter, who also was the voice of Doc McStuffins for 10 years. So
that's crazy.
The moment she started speaking when I got on set, I was like, wait a minute. I despised you for a little bit, but now I love you. But she is a main character in there. And then we have a couple guys who are extras on Grey's Anatomy.
You have Doc McStuffins on set.
Yeah, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So we have no main actor that you would say right away, oh, I know that person, except for the daughter off of Equalizer. And so, a great cast. They all did a great job. We even have one kid who is the younger brother in the film. He's actually from Iowa. He's on his way to Beverly Hills right now to watch the film. And you'll see him in a lot of commercials now as he works with Peak Agency, but he did a great job dating as well. So a lot of great actors, actresses that you may not recognize, but you will know them after this film.
Why is Doc McStuffins in this?
Me having 2 daughters, it was right away I knew that voice.
Did anybody, okay, side note real quick, when the kids came to the set, did they ever hear Doc McStuffins and not know it was and go, wait a second?
I think a couple of them didn't believe her when she was talking to them and saying it, and then she did the full-on voice for them, and you could see their eyes go, like their soul left their body and came back and was just like, wanted to hug her but weren't sure if they can hug her. So it was a great experience for all, and I think she felt great. She was 15 years old at the time. She might be closer to 18, 19 now, but she was great in what she did, and now she's a great actress on Equalizer, and I'm sure she's got a great career ahead of her. She also does a lot of video games, so I can't remember specific ones, but maybe even Call of Duty and a few others you might recognize. You hear her voice on. So she got in the game at 8 years old and was a great inspiration to my younger daughter, Callie, who's 10 now, who's now starting to get into the acting a little bit. So
very well. Awesome. She got an associate producer.
Yep, I'm a producer now, so call me Hollywood Tariq now.
There you go. You can do that. Hollywood Tariq in studio with me. Any other projects coming up that we should know about?
We were working on some. So after this filmed, we actually had plans to film another movie in the summer of 2020 by the same director and a different partner. That didn't work out, but now that this movie has arisen, we've gotten a lot of calls, and so hopefully this fall or summer we'll start working in talks of filming a few more movies at Horizon and throughout the metro area. So Iowa is now becoming a more popular place. You saw Woody Harrelson just had Champions. Yeah. They based out of Iowa as well, mainly because of a lot cheaper than Hollywood. Yeah. It's just a matter of finding the right resources like makeup artists, like wardrobe, like PAs, and things like that to make it happen. And we've proven we can do that. So now I think we're getting a lot more attention off of it.
That's awesome. Like I said, we'll have the links at the bottom of the page. Tariq, thanks so much.
Southern Haunting. Appreciate you, B-sox.